Welcome to another episode of TKMR Hatena. It's been a very short while since our last recording, relative to that huge gap we had since the one before that, but that's okay. And we're going back to our roots this episode. I'm bringing back the original host. With me today is Bex and Turbos86. Say hi.
Yay!
Old school.
Yeah. So this is like OG day, and
No, don't say that.
oh.
Don't say it like that.
But yeah, we've got some really awesome topics for you today. They're might be a little old, but I think they're still worth talking about. So without further ado, let's go straight on to our very first topic, which is Wotas make bad friends.
They do? What? We are? What?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting thread title, to say the least, but it's actually not what you think it is. Or maybe it is. I don't know, depending on your own personal experiences. So let me give you a basic summary of the thread. Basically, there's a thread started a little while ago talking about what exactly is the lifestyle to have when you are an wota in Japan, and being an active fan is possible for your daily life. And I don't know if this is necessarily a recent trend or something that's been going on for a while, but a couple of people on this side were basically complaining that when you mix being a fan and money, you get bad things. So some brief history about what it is to be a Hello Project fan. Most of the time, when you go to an event or a concert, it requires a ticket, and those can either be bought from a local authorized reseller, or from the Hello Project fan club page, in which you get to order it before the I guess public release. If you order from the fan club page, you can order up to 3 tickets, which will, if you win, guarantees you 3 seats in a row, so that if you want to go with friends, you'll be all sitting next to each other, as opposed to if you go to like the popular resellers in Tokyo and the local areas, those usually sell tickets individually, and if you're going with friends, you might not necessarily sit next to each other or stand next to each other.
So sad.
Yeah. So basically, what's been going on, or what the people are complaining about in this thread, is that so there'll be people who'll be like, oh yeah, I'll order the tickets for us, no problem, and then they order like 3 or something, and when they go to the event, it's awesome and everything, but the 2 friends that the one guy ordered tickets for never pay him back. And it's one of those things that it's not just like 1 or 2 events, it goes on for enough that some people have commented. People, or the people I go with, just have been doing this for so long that I've actually stopped I've started to go to fewer events because of this, because I can't afford it anymore, because no one's
You
paying
need
me
new
back.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. It's also for those who are not fortunate enough to be in Tokyo, where you have events all the time. Like when you go to local concerts outside of Tokyo, you have that mixed with other events from other groups. And since it's rare, or rather less frequent, to have events outside of Tokyo, when they go outside of Tokyo to the more rural areas, Wotas will try to cram in a bunch of events together in just to get your share of them, since you don't get to see them that often. And so what happens that usually is that the events either overlap in time, or they basically run up right next to each other, like one after another, so that if anything happens that delays the first event, you will probably be late for the second event. And when this happens for the rural Wotas, you either end up not going at all, or being really late to the point where, I don't know, whatever the end result is. Yeah,
The second one.
right. And the end result is, again, that first guy who bought the tickets not getting paid back, since the other guy who tried to stack a bunch of events together didn't end up going, or didn't feel it was worth it, or whatever.
Well,
So-
I mean, from seeing the Otas actually do this at the event, the way they do it, a lot of them, they the guy that asks their friend to buy tickets for them would usually pay the person who bought all the tickets right at the door before they walk in. So the guy who bought all the tickets are not guaranteed to get all his money back until the moment everybody steps through the door.
Right.
So this, what happened here would then when these people no show or they can't make it, then the guy who bought the extra tickets are stuck with the tickets, and he has no way to let them get it off his hands at the last minute because everybody who's going in has a ticket.
Right.
There's not always there's people outside it's like, oh, anybody got a ticket? Oh, I want to buy it right now. There's not always people like that. So I think this is what happens. So instead of how say how we foreigners would do it, we PayPal each other or we pay in advance before the show. So the person who bought all the tickets at least will get the money in their hands first. Even if the guy who doesn't show who never shows up, then the person who bought it would still get the money back.
Right. One of the interesting things, I guess, it goes to a cultural thing where in Japan, a lot of the transactions are still mainly done in cash. So the otas generally expect to be paid in cash on the site. I don't know. Do you guys have any personal experiences with this, or any bad experiences?
Well, I think this is really the same as, say, if you go to a movie theater and one person buys like all the tickets for the whole group, and then one or two guys like, I gotta go eat with my family, I can't show up. Then what do you do with that ticket? But if you go to a movie theater, you can probably refund it at the ticket counter, but not with concert tickets or anything. So there's always going to be jerks like that in your group of friends.
Yeah,
so.
I suppose so.
I guess it's all about finding the right people.
And know when to say no to them. Oh, sorry, I'm not buying it for you next time. Or, oh, you never pay me. Or...
Right.
I think a lot of them are too shy to say no the next time, though, so they just keep doing it. Or like, it's one of those things where it's like you don't have a lot of people to go with, so you'd rather almost like just suck it up and pay just so someone will go with you rather than go by yourself. If that makes any sense.
That's kind of sad, yeah.
That is kind of sad, but I can see that being the case for a lot of the yotas. I mean, especially if you're in like a rural area and there's not a lot of people who are Hello Project fans, everyone's like an AKB fan.
Mm.
Well,
Go ahead. Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Plus, what they also need to like find out if they're really their friends. I mean, true friends wouldn't do this shit, would they?
Well, when we say
at least I've never happened to me.
When we say ota friends, it's usually just someone you know only at events. You don't really hang out with them outside of being an ota.
Yeah, they're more like they call them friends because they share similar favorite members, or they both like the same group, so they end up going together. But they're not really technically friends, or outside of all the idol stuff, they wouldn't talk to each other.
Right, like you really have nothing in common except for the fact that you're an idol fan with whoever it is. Yeah.
I guess it's a risk then to actually do what they do.
Right.
I mean, if you don't mind, you can always go alone, but then I guess some people don't like that. It seems pretty lonely when you have no one to share
but
what you like, right? Yeah.
I mean, once you're inside the concert hall, can't you just make friends with the guy next to you anyway? I mean, it doesn't since they're not friends anyway.
Well, that's kind of hard since a lot of people do go in groups, or they already have their friends or teams or whatever they call them all established. It's kind of hard to go into their circle. Or I think a lot of the otas, even though they're like middle-aged guys, they're still pretty shy and introverted. It's hard for them to make new friends.
Right.
Especially if they've been around for a while, then people seen them. Then you suddenly try to ask people like, "Oh, you want to be friends?" It's kind of awkward.
True.
Yeah, being an ota is hard.
But if you just start off new, then people don't know you, then you can try to fit in or try to ask people, and I guess that'd be easier.
I feel like if
So,
you're a foreigner going in, it's always easier because the otas are always like so happy to see anyone that's not
Right.
Japanese, and they'll always go up to you and like be like, "Oh my God, you're
They
here!"
always seem to give gifts as well.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Why would you do that?
Because they have like 30 copies of a CD that they can't do anything with.
Okay, well, a CD it makes sense, but like photos, they just just give them away.
but photos are
Photos are pretty cheap too.
I guess pretty cheap.
They are cheap,
yeah.
but still, I mean,
Compared to a CD, that's cheap.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they're
would
just
never
friendly
say
like
no
that.
to something free though.
Yeah, so I guess otas or just like normal people, but then it's harder for them to make new friends once they establish some kind of connection with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think overall, what we can get from this thread that it's not necessarily limited to otas being bad friends. It's just there are those type of people in every group, and
Yeah.
if you just happen to be stuck with one of them, that kind of sucks. But so you have to
Probably
deal with
only-
it yourself.
It's probably only just a few people anyway as well. It's not like everybody.
Yeah, I can imagine it's. I mean, if everyone were like that, then like no one
Yeah,
would
that
go
would be
anymore.
Yeah. that would be
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
well.
Any final thoughts on this?
No.
Get real friends that you can trust.
If you can.
I don't know.
Good luck with
if you
that.
Yeah.
can. Search the interwebs.
Yeah. On that note, let's move on to our next topic. And this is actually a Matome topic that's been covered in the past, but we thought it was pretty interesting, so we're going to cover it today on the show. And it is audition criteria. The full thread title is "What criteria does Morning Musume use for auditions?" Because Aika and Zuki passed, but Kojiharu, Yukirin, and Michan were rejected.
No hate. No hate.
Yeah, no hate. So really interesting how they talked about all the different, and this is coming from a HP fan perspective, not so much, and it's not meant to be an AKB hate thread, so don't take it as that. But they're just looking at who gets in and who doesn't, and it's just a compare and contrast because the people who don't get in, just by chance or maybe not, ended up making it pretty big in other groups. So it's an introductory list. So we said Kojiharu got in, or didn't get in. Yukirin didn't get in. Michan didn't get in. Sumire didn't get in. Ume-chan didn't get in. And of the non-AKBs, Kodokumi and Nishino Kana did not get in.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
And the latest one, Maru, went to HKT.
Right. And so of all of those, I think it's interesting that those are the notables that happen to make it really big, or at least somewhat famous in the entertainment industry, versus those who are currently in or previously have got in over whoever got rejected. Arguments can be made that wrong decisions were made simply due to the difference in popularity between those who got rejected and those who got passed into the group. One thing I just wanted to throw in before we started talking about this was comment number 391, which someone quoted an interview from with Sunku from back in 2012, saying he doesn't remember Kashiwagi Yuki auditioning at all throughout the audition process, and if she did, she left no impression on him, and that was the main reason why he did not let her in.
Ah.
I see.
So I think at that time there was actually footage of Yukirin singing a couple songs or something. At least that was aired on TV.
Yep.
I don't know. She wasn't spectacular, but she wasn't Like, she was about the same as
Well,
everyone
she
else.
at least got past one round.
Yeah, that's true. So anyways,
I
let's
don't
go.
remember any of those.
Let's go down the list of some of the notables, and we'll kind of give our breakdown on what we thought about each situation. So first, we'll go with Umeda Ayaka, who originally participated in the Morning Musume Lucky 7 audition and made it to the second round before getting the rejection. And I believe that's the round right before the what is that thing called? The training camp? Or is it-
Yes. Yeah, training camp. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually pretty good. But then again, that audition happened to be the one that no one actually ended up winning. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I guess you shouldn't feel too bad. But
Right? Yeah, I guess not.
what do you guys feel about whether or not she should have got it? What? Okay, so let's compare her. Just assuming she would be in the 7th gen. So compare it to like Kaharu for that, for all discussions.
I guess I'm saying this for a lot of people now. After what Koharu said and this, anybody would be better than Koharu.
That's
Yeah, that's mean.
yeah. That's one of those things you can only say now, though.
Yeah.
I guess.
But then, to be honest, though, the Lucky 7 auditions where nobody got in, the finalists that made the training camp, they weren't all that bad, but they weren't all that spectacular. If you really have to compare to Koharu when she auditioned, I guess any of them could have taken Koharu down. It's just I guess it's comparing skills and maybe looks is not very fair because I guess Sunko and Upfront don't just take those into consideration. They
Right.
have mentioned before that they want to pick girls that would fit into that current set of Morning Musume members at the time, and to see if find girls that would fit visually and pick a girl that would improve on the whole group. As in, if at that time they lack a girl who is good at singing, then they pick a good singing one with a lot of skill in singing. But then I guess at that time that those Lucky 7 audition finalists weren't what they were looking for. I guess that's why they had no winners. Even not saying
Right.
that the finalists were bad in particular.
Well, so that's interesting. That so basically, it sounds like they're looking for someone who complements the group at exactly the time that they are auditioning, looking towards the future. And so for Lucky 7 audition, that would mean that's right around the time of who's leader at the time? I don't know, but it's like 4th, 5th, and 6th gen are the main.
Wouldn't that be Yoshi?
Yoshi was okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess whatever they saw in Umeda didn't fit. So let's go to our resident AKB fan here, Bex.
Oh god.
I mean, what do you see in Ume-chan versus Koharu? Like, would she fit better with the group, or?
Probably not.
I mean, well, what is her
Compared to Koharu,
notable
anyway. Right now, she's
characteristic right now in
doing-
AKB?
She's a pretty funny character, actually. I mean, she has a lot of jokes. But right now, she doesn't do like a lot of television appearances. She gets a lot of them lately, which obviously would have been great for
Yeah, that
our
would really
project,
help
our
out.
Morning Musume.
So
Mhm.
is she like variety heavy or more like?
She is pretty variety heavy, yeah, I'd say. I mean, she's got a really funny character. Might not be like the best looking girl ever.
But
yeah,
at least she can
really funny.
handle
Yeah.
MC or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Could you see her taking the Kirarin Revolution role?
Whoa.
No. No, well, she probably could, but it would make it kind of retarded.
Okay.
Probably.
You're saying it's not retarded now.
I mean, like,
Maybe.
when you look at Koharu, as much as we like to hate on her, like, I think she did the Kirarin very well.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Umi-chan would have been able to pull that off.
Okay.
Not like Koharu did.
So I guess it's one of those like, or maybe they had Kirarin Revolution in mind. That's why they picked Koharu. But
Perhaps.
they, well, how long did it take before Umeda like developed a really good talking personality? Or was she like pretty awesome from the start?
And I don't know her that well from the start. I mean, I'm not that long into AKB either.
Okay.
But they're only just, I think, like maybe a year now or so, she's doing more television appearances, so probably took a while.
Okay. Then for the either of you guys, would you prefer like a more variety or like that Kirarin idol, ride that out for as long as you can, and then after that, that's pretty much it? Because I mean, Koharu really had nothing after that.
Right.
I think.
well,
yeah.
Yeah, I would have
I
gone
think
for Umeda.
Yeah. You think? I think they had the reasons to pick Koharu back at that time. They really wanted a girl, like a center girl, to pull the group into the spotlight.
Uh-huh.
But I think their execution probably wasn't that well thought out.
I really can't see her being a center girl. Like a center, the Kirarin
Well,
girl.
remember how they pushed her as like the miracle ace and all that?
Yeah, I didn't see that at all. I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't see that at all.
Maybe later, but definitely not from the start.
At the start, yeah.
They pushed that thing from the start though. That
Yes,
idea.
yeah.
Which was really confusing for me because I didn't agree with it at all.
Was that the 8 key?
No,
I don't remember.
she was in 7th. 8th was Aika.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Right. Well, let's move on then. Unless anyone have any last things to say about Umeda?
He's awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Let's move on to Koji Haru. She's actually ended up being one of the top frontline girls for AKB. She apparently has a really big love for Morning Musume, as a lot of AKB girls have said throughout their career, I guess.
Yeah, but wasn't there like a long time ago, like screenshots of her phone with like a lot of Morning Musume songs on there? I think it was Koji Haru's.
What was it?
It's
I'm
one of
not
those
sure. It was
things
a long time ago.
to put it in perspective, though, at the time they were auditioning, which was like 2004,
Yeah,
everyone had Morning Musume on their phone.
I guess. Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily make them
Yeah, true.
like a hardcore fan. I mean, like if you look 10 years from now, if you like look 10, 15 years from now, and you'll be like, whatever the idol at that time will be like, oh yeah, I was a huge AKB fan. We're like, well, everyone was a huge AKB fan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Anyways, so Koji Haru, I guess we don't know what audition or what.
I have no clue.
Yeah, but given her age, it was probably she's what, like 24, 25.
Something like that.
Yeah, close to that.
Let's put her around 5th and 6th gen just for comparison's sake, because age.
Probably. Yeah.
Do you think she would fit for that that time period?
Her image, seeing her image now.
Well, if you're familiar with her progression, which I'm not, so I can't say, but I guess now. Or whatever it is that got her to be so popular.
He is pretty much C-ute.
So she plays the cute character?
Yeah, definitely.
Does she play it?
Cute character.
Does
Even though. Yeah, go ahead.
Does she play it where she purposely gets other people annoyed at her?
No, I wouldn't say that. Just like C-ute always says, like I'm cute here and there, blah blah.
Right.
She doesn't do that, but she
Okay.
definitely does play like the cute character.
Oh, she acts cutesy.
Yeah.
Then.
Right.
Okay.
And even her voice-wise, pretty much C-ute kind of style.
Okay.
I guess
Like
if you say
pretty style.
in that case, then back in 5th and 6th gen Morning Musume, we
Yeah.
already had Kong and C-ute to
C-ute,
play
so,
those.
yeah.
I guess maybe that's why she was gonna play off that the judges for the auditions probably saw it
Possible.
and thought that to themselves, we already have enough of these kind of personalities in the group. We don't need another one.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And especially we had Ishikara Rika back
Yeah.
then as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So that's way too many.
Yeah, that would have been overkill probably.
Yeah.
Even
But then
singing wise, it's pretty much Sayu all over.
Yeah. But then Koji Haru, doesn't she play off the sexy character as well?
As well, yeah.
Although Sayu the last few years has done the same.
She's done this
guess.
weird transition where she's doing both now, and it's just it's working for her. So, and I think Koji Haru does the same as well, right? I mean, 'cause
Right.
Sexy and cute.
yeah, at the same time,
Yeah, well,
So
AKB, they take it obviously a step further, but
right?
Right.
So
But
I don't know.
so it seems like they overlap each other.
yeah,
Probably why. she
in
didn't
my
get it.
opinion, they do, yeah.
you know, it'd be interesting if, since she overlaps so hard with the other girls at that current time, if she had joined, she probably might be in the back if there's so much overlap with other characters. Or do you think she
So-
has something unique that would make her push her to the front even in Morning Musume? I know, what do you guys think?
Well, I
Uh,
don't.
Not
Seems
really,
like,
I guess.
yes.
I mean, she would have probably been really good for photo books. Suppose.
Well, for
She
photo
does
books,
that now.
like, they had Ai-chan and Sayu for that. And
Right, yeah, but then you have Koji Haru as well. That's even more money for them.
I guess. Is there anyone that really competes for Koji Haru in that kind of cute, sexy image?
You
not
mean
in
AKB?
that
In
style, I
AKB,
don't think.
yeah, sorry.
Well, I maybe, what's her name? Tomochin? No, not Tomochin, the other Tomo.
Kasai?
Yeah, Kasai. I mean, she's like the sexy type, I guess. Like, even more than Koji Haru, I guess.
But she's gone now, right?
No?
Even after
She
that
just has-
scandal?
She just has bad rap.
Yeah, that's pretty bad rap.
But that's a whole different story on its own.
Okay, well, okay. Well, I mean, she's no threat to Koji Haru's popularity now, right?
I guess in AKB, since there are so many members, or just in the 48 groups, it's hard for them to not overlap in character and personality. But for
I suppose.
Morning Musume, a group where it's already floating around 10 members, if you have 2 or 3 of the same characters already, I don't think
Yeah.
the company wants to add another one.
It seems to me
I
like
think she's gone after all.
in Momosu, since they're so the number is so much smaller than AKB, everyone's personality has to be much more defined.
Right.
And like when you say someone's name, you know like what role they play. Or I guess it's not so clear in AKB.
No, not really, no. It's just, there's so many members, like you said.
Right.
You just like the girl, whoever you like.
Well, let's go for a final word for Koji Haru then. Would you have let her in? Well, let's start with Bex. Would you want her in or no?
No. I mean, if you have Sayu already, I would totally go for Sayu.
Good answer.
I do
Very good
like
answer.
Koji though.
No,
But,
that's the wrong answer.
Oh.
but Sayu is so much more.
Yeah. Turbos, what about you? Koji Haru?
I don't. She has her strong points and her selling points now, of course, but I don't think she fits the image of Morning Musume like for any generation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
that's just a personal opinion.
So her style is much more suited for AKB then. If,
Or
As it is
maybe
right
her-
now, yeah.
Maybe her image is so strong in our minds that it's hard to imagine her as a Morning Musume member.
oh, right.
That kind of
yeah.
makes sense too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, on that note, let's move on to our next reject. Sumire from the Happy Hachiki audition. This was the audition that gave us Aika. And this I think leading up to the results announcement, everyone thought Sumire was like a for sure in, and then whoever
Right.
else, like no one cared. Um, what do you guys think on this one?
Well, he's cute, alright.
Well, did you guys pay attention to her back at the audition, at the time of the audition, or not really?
Not really. But I didn't for Aika either, so.
Oh, okay.
Same.
What about for? How about how she's doing now in AKB?
Well, I have a feeling she's not that fronties, like a front girl. I don't check her that much, but occasionally you see her, and then you're like, hey, I know her.
Does she
No.
do TV much or not really? Or what's her main thing?
I have no idea what the main thing is. Just be there, I guess.
Awesome.
That's pretty much everyone
but
who's
she
not
did-
a front girl.
Yeah, but she did still rank 33 on the last Senbatsu, which seems pretty decent. Like halfway.
But then for Senbatsu, if you're not in the top 13 or so, then it
It
matters
means nothing,
not.
right?
Well, you still
Pretty
get
much.
your own song.
Really?
Because the every 16 members you get like grouped in a different group. Like you have the first, which are like the centers, and obviously Sashi is the center. And then you have 3
okay.
other groups would do like songs as well for the city. So she
Yeah,
still
but
gets
then
something.
only the hardcore fans would go for the second group and the second tier girls, like the mainstream, well the normal people,
Normal
non-fans.
people.
the non-otas. Okay, the non-otas would only know of the first couple, I guess.
Right. Right. So let's cut straight to the chase then. I mean, do you think she would have been more successful in winning Musume than Aika?
Probably yes, yes.
Or
Is she-
another cute character.
Is that her thing?
She's not like a cute character. She is cute.
Would
I
you
guess she
guys
acts cute, but she is cute.
would you guys have her with Aika or instead of Aika?
Wit would have probably been better. I mean, Aika turned all right, I guess. I mean, a lot of hate in the start, but
No,
People
still a
turn
lot of hate
around.
even now.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
HJN was a tough one.
There were a lot of good choices, and I guess they had to make room for the 2 Chinese girls. That's why they didn't take more. I don't know. I think
then
it
still,
could
it
have
could be
definitely
would've
took more.
worked.
I don't know.
I think it would have worked. He would have also been perfect for photo books. Even more money for Hello Project.
Is she heavy on the photo books?
I don't know. I don't think AKB does that many photo books. I mean, they do them, but not a lot. Not like Hello Project. I don't think.
Okay.
Or I'm missing a lot, I guess. But
Do you think she would have been a better fit than the experiment they did with the Jinjin Linlin?
they should have been like all 4, to be fairly honest.
Okay.
Like Kuchan, Aika, and Jinju. No Lin Lin. No, even Lin Lin. That would have worked, to be fairly honest. I mean, especially if they knew that Jinjun and Lin Lin went away anyway. I mean, it still leaves 2, so.
I don't know if they knew that they were not going to be there for a long term.
Right, yeah.
Or at least
so
in my
that's, I
mind,
guess.
I don't. It felt like they didn't know at the time that they hired them.
Or they had no plans. They just
Or
wanted to
yeah,
ride it
just like
out,
leave it
yeah,
open. Yeah, just like fire them when they get unpopular or something.
Pretty much.
What do you think, Turbos?
I don't really know her.
That's a good answer. So
I like a lot of people, but apparently a lot of people wanted her in.
yeah,
when the
a
audition
lot of
was
people
done.
when they were watching the auditions, they really wanted her.
I mean, I
in.
remember her face. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cute, but now in AKB and stuff, I have no idea who she is, so can't really say.
Yeah.
I want just another cute girl in the group and all. It's like we got a lot of cute girls already.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
One of those that it's like average, but then not really standing out.
Yeah.
So let's move on to a big shot then. Next girl, Yukirin, a huge success after not making it through the again Happy Hachiki audition that gave us Aika. Cut 3rd round, which that would make it after the training camp, right? or yeah, after the training
Or
camp.
I don't know actually. She
Third
was in the
round,
same
yeah.
one as Sato
Yeah.
as well.
Right. And we know from her past that she has always been a huge a Morning Musume fan. So unlike most of the girls that actually get into Morning Musume, her heart was actually in there as a fan. What do you guys think about her? Like, I guess it's a difficult comparison because Yukinen is so much more popular than
Right.
Aika is.
Than anyone right now.
Than
Actually, I
yeah,
guess.
really anyone
Right.
in Morning Musume. Probably
Right.
more than the group itself.
Yeah. He ranked 4th this year, so.
Yeah. So, but like within the dynamics of the group, what do you think? Would she fit for 8th gen?
Well, again, like I said, 8th gen's really a hard one. That's with Aika,
Yeah.
who people either hate or like, and then the 2 Chinese girls, which
No one
took
cared
them.
about.
Well, I mean, it took them a long time to fit in.
Right. Because they had to learn Japanese and all that.
Right.
I mean, visually, they fit in, but
Kind of.
kind of, I guess. The way they
Yeah.
set up the group,
Yeah. Right.
it wouldn't be odd to have Yukini in back then as well. I think.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I
in
guess,
a way, she kind of looks like Junior.
yeah.
Close. Same length wise.
Or that type maybe.
Yeah,
that
right,
type,
that
like
time. I feel like if she got in at that time, Yukinin at the 8th gen, she would be like the Eripon that we see now, except like a real version.
Like I'll go crazy.
Yeah, like actually be a fan and then no, sorry, not 80 point, like a Fuku-chan.
Oh, right.
And like kind of know all the history and know all the like at MC events whatever her thing about herself would be something about like how she'd been a fan of something for like the past however many years.
Right.
Which could be interesting back then because that wasn't as big of a thing.
Maybe that was actually the reason why they didn't take her.
Because she's too big of a fan.
Back then, it was Aijan leader, and they wanted everything to be all serious and business, right?
That's true. They didn't really have the tolerance for that kind of like, especially stuff like buying goods of members from the same group sort of thing. That would not exist back then.
Yeah. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
I wonder if they knew that about her, or did she write that in her application?
Or they can just tell.
Yeah, maybe. But that's interesting.
Definitely turned out all right though.
Yeah, she has a like awesome career, and she's pretty much set for life.
Yeah.
That's hard to say though, because if she did get into Morning Musume, she wouldn't.
Yeah, it might have
She
not
would
went
never.
that way.
She
guess.
never would be this popular since her exposure would be so much more less, and the image different companies would give her or ask her to take would be so different. And AKB, she does take this pretty sexy image, right?
Right. Well, so here's
If
something
yeah.
I'm not really familiar with, but is her popularity purely from like the, I guess we'll call it the gravure side of things, or does she actually do other stuff that people like her for?
I don't know. I guess she is funny. I mean, all of the girls are pretty much funny anyway,
Mhm.
their own way. I guess the graphic style has a lot to do with it. I mean, she looks amazing, so.
But every time I see her,
She's
it's
solo
it's
as well,
almost
so.
always in a because of like a magazine shoot or something.
Right. Yeah. They use her a lot for that.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you? I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to. It'd be a waste not to.
Right. Yeah. And I just see her as a very adult woman, actually,
Okay.
as personality-wise.
I guess, and then at that time, it would be a lot of overlap with like who was pumping out photo books so often, Ai-chan, Sayu, and Reina at that
Right.
time. So I guess I don't know. It'd be too much.
As of now, she would have been a perfect fit if she was like she is right now, I think.
Oh, maybe we can like trade her for I don't know, Oda or something.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We'll trade all of 9th and 10th and 11th gen for her, and 12th gen.
Were you kidding?
Future draft pick.
That would work totally.
Wait, that we just left with C-ute.
Yeah, Sayun, you can. They still get
Perfect.
more sales than right now.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
All right. Any last thoughts on Yukinen?
Shame she didn't get in.
Yeah.
I think it worked out better for her that she didn't get in.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah, that's-
probably as well.
right,
Obviously, we will never know that, but I mean,
But
she
from
could
what
be an
we
ID, kind of.
Yeah, but from what we know from upfront as a company, even if you say ID,
Right.
no matter how popular we know ID is, there's
Yeah.
no way to compare her to any of the front AKB girls.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but
Is
Right.
yeah. Yep. So it would have been
Anyways, yep.
yeah. On that note, let's move on to Michan. So she also has a history of being an AKB fan. Sorry, a Morning Musume fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome. They could be fan too.
Yeah, she could be an AKB
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Probably not so much anymore though. But so she originally auditioned for Hello Project Kids back in 2002,
Oh my
and
god, so long ago.
that would be really interesting if she had gotten into one of the two groups. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. If she would have turned out the way she did right now, well,
Mhm.
minus the
Minus
bald head.
the yeah.
The scandals.
Yeah.
Even though you gotta have some balls to do that, to be fairly honest.
Mhm.
So I think that says enough about Michan, really. She's amazing.
Shave her head.
I mean,
What?
she's got such great personality.
Oh, okay.
I think she makes for a good variety, which aside from
Yeah.
Momo, it's kind of lacking in the kids right now. But
Yep.
then it took
Yeah.
but it
Yeah,
took them
definitely.
her a long time to get there, but still it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I suppose.
So, like if you had to put on your Sunku cap, which of the two groups would you put her in? Or
Two
or do you
groups?
even want her? No, like very cute.
Oh, okay. Just the kids.
Just the kids, yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. Probably. As of right now, probably berries. Because
That'd be yeah.
just because if she would turn out the way she did, she would probably help Barry so much right now.
From what
Getting-
perspective?
Just getting, the recognition, being a cool group.
Oh. Okay. Well, I have to say berries as well, but for different reasons. For the, more like that, I don't think she fit in cute. The image-wise.
Like the sexy image? Or,
Well, not
or
really
what
sexy
image?
well, I guess.
Or like the serious
the-
image? What image?
Yeah, the more serious image.
Okay.
And how berries have their all over the place thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could. Okay.
Yeah, Michan
Yeah.
is all about fooling around though, definitely.
She should be
Yeah.
the center in Cha-Cha Sing.
Oh, she would make that so awesome.
Yeah.
She would probably dress up like a dude or something and do some funny shit.
She could probably dress up as that guy that they're parodied or they're doing a
Right,
cover.
yeah.
Oh.
Probably. And she would. She don't care about any of that stuff, man, really.
Yeah.
Anything.
But nope, she didn't get in.
No,
Yeah.
not even the eggs or whatever.
Or maybe she did get an invitation to the eggs, but she chose not to go.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, she's a first gen AKB, so
Right.
I guess she
You
just
know.
went after the next big thing, or well, not the big thing by that time, but
Right.
You know, we'll
I
never know.
guess. I guess
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Okay. So on to our last girl for today.
Most recent one as well.
Yep, Tashima Meru, 10th gen, finalist, but did not make it in. I believe there were either 8 or 10 girls in the finalist, and as we know, 4 of them got in. I think a lot of people were also hoping for her to get in, or she was pretty popular among the finalists, but she ended up going into HKT, and apparently, Bex, she's already really popular.
She is just an egg, and she's pretty damn popular already. Even like close to being like the center, almost, I'd say, of HKT. And she's just an egg.
Wow. Oh wow.
So how does How does egg work? Like, how can you be a center of a group if you're still an egg?
She'll probably get promoted soon.
Oh, okay.
And that's just how it works, you know. It's they take a bunch of eggs and then they just promote a couple
And
at
then
a time.
whoever's popular gets promoted to the full thing. Oh, okay.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So she'll most likely get promoted soon.
Is she up there with Sashi in popularity?
Oh, way near. I mean, she's like, what did I say? She was ranked as 50 something.
Yeah,
55.
55 in
I
the
mean,
most
Sashi's
recent
obviously
Senbatsu.
won
Right.
first, so.
But for HKT, I mean, would she be like this number 2 girl?
Yeah, probably together with a couple of others.
Okay.
Also oncoming talent, I guess.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. So I really know nothing about her other than what I saw from the auditions. But
Yeah,
no,
me too, actually.
really?
Well, I mean, I do watch HKT so occasionally, and you see her all the time. I mean, I have no idea what the fuck I was gonna say actually.
Well, okay. Well, so let me ask you, like, so you are, somewhat familiar with 10th Gen now that they've been here for like a year and a little bit, and I mean, I guess you're familiar, or you have your own opinion on what you think 10th Gen should be or how it turned out. Do you think she fits in, or do you think she's like they should have taken her over someone in the 10th Gen instead?
I think she turned out to be somebody completely different than everybody thought she would be. To be honest.
Huh, okay.
Because from my experience in watching the 10 Gen Audition, I did not have her on my list of like, oh, she definitely needs to go in.
Uh-huh.
And now I see her in HKT and I'm like, oh my god, that's like a totally different girl. Like, what happened?
Is she a lot more like talkative and?
She is. I guess she already got like a small personality, like being funny and all that shit.
Uh-huh.
And being cute as well. I mean, I don't hear them sing very often, so I don't really know if she's got like an angel of a voice, but yeah, I don't
say
know.
for TV, I mean, she's or emceeing, talking, and she's got pretty decent talent.
She seems built for her age
Okay.
to me, so.
Hmm.
And I did not have that at all when we were watching the audition.
Would you have preferred her over any of the other current 10th Gen?
If she turned out this way, probably yes.
Would you have
She's
her
kind of awesome.
alongside 10th Gen, or like swap, like trade someone?
I would
No.
probably trade her for like Machan or something.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I think she would have fit probably a lot better in the adult way.
In the what way?
With adult way. Like
Oh.
being more
okay.
adult than obviously Machan. Everybody is. but-
Right. So then she
But,
might complement
depends who
Ikubo
they're at.
more and make it less awkward for her having to act like a 12-year-old.
Right. That as well. And the other two really as well. I mean, even Kudo and Ayumi are pretty adultish.
That's true.
I guess.
What do you think,
But
Turbos?
obviously. Okay,
Oh
go
no,
ahead,
sorry,
go
no,
ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
Vex, finish your thought. No, finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish.
But I forgot what I was gonna say, so go ahead.
That's
Because I'm old, guys. Come on, I'm old. God damn it. I forget things.
Okay.
okay. Well then, Turbos, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't remember her.
Good answer.
Seriously.
See, that's what I mean. You don't remember her.
Yeah.
But in some way, she turned out to be so amazing in one
I don't know. What?
like overnight
Okay.
almost.
Okay. Well, as a Hello Project fan perspective, back when the 10th Gen audition was on, everybody knew Kudu was going in. That was just a given. And then Daishi, that was pretty obvious as well, given her background.
Her background, yeah.
Yeah. So, and what Upfront wanted, as a Sayashi comparison, person to have match or
Oh,
to
okay, yeah, right,
to shadow her or something.
right.
So there was, if they had planned to add 4 girls at the start, then there was only 2 spots left. So it was up against Equal and Machan.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know what the reasons were to add Machan and Equal, but I guess it probably adds to the dynamic of the group.
Ikubo, like,
um,
if you didn't know any background information from her,
Yeah,
when I
you
was
wouldn't think
watching
she'd
this,
get in.
yeah, I would be like, she's totally not meant for
Not-
this.
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when you look at her background, she's like this like history of modeling and all the professional work she's already done.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, oh, okay, I can see why she would get in.
I guess they wanted someone to have experience and someone more older compared to the other ones
Right.
to keep them more mature immature to not have like the 6th gen be so far away from the other girls.
Right.
That's kind of the only reason I think of for having Equal in there, or at the start.
Right. So
And
I guess that
Machan
just
was
leaves Machan
so,
versus. I mean,
so-
supposedly she's some kind of musical genius, which, I mean, we have seen her play a few instruments already, which is impressive, but she has to. Her character is very strong, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but Machan would probably not work in any other group, either group.
Yeah, I really can't see her. Unless it's like one of those like small local groups that don't actually get to do anything.
Then nobody would care.
Yeah, but none of the big name groups, I don't see her at all. I don't
Yeah.
even see her as an egg in any of the groups.
Well, the thing is, I remember Sunku saying that he's taking a chance with Machan, and he sees her to have to develop over time, so she's a long-term investment for the company,
Right.
and that her time to shine would be when she pass her go into her 20s.
Right. If she ends up being some huge ace star, like how they invested in Konkon, that would be.
Yeah.
If that happens, I would have to stop questioning Sugu's decision because apparently he knows something that I don't.
Yes. But for now,
Yeah, for now it's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
I want some of what you're smoking, Suku.
Yeah. I would like to be as confident as you are.
Yes.
So I think that does cover for all the notable mentions of the girls that got rejected. So looking over just really briefly before we end here, at all the girls that got rejected, as well as we know all the girls who got in, what do you think is the criteria that they use? I mean, is it just like a gut feeling, or is it like they have something specific every audition, and then they're not if there's like someone amazing in another category, they're not considering it because it's just a wrong time, wrong place for it.
I personally think is the latter one. They have specific criteria they're looking for each audition to fit into the current set of members in the group.
Mm-hmm.
But they it's not fair to say they let all these other girls just leave and go join other groups.
Right.
Sometimes you do hear or you do see the Hello Project Kenkyusei, or formerly the Hello Project Eggs, they get new auditions or new girls into the like being eggs after, say, the Morning Musume auditions, and the ones who don't make it into Morning Musume, they get invited into being the Hello Project eggs and stuff. So they don't always let the fish get away, as to say. It's just, I guess, some of these girls, they probably might have gotten invited, but they don't want to be like, oh, I'm not auditioning to be in training again.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, we don't know if they got an invitation or not. and they maybe are looking to aim higher than just be an egg or something.
Yeah, but so to be fair, we do have some pretty good Kenkyusei right now. I mean, some, not all. Some we have to question why they got in. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Right. What do you think, Vex? Anything you see out of the audition process?
I think all I'm just gonna say is that these girls that we just mentioned probably should be happy they didn't get in.
You mean the AKB girls?
Yeah, because they have it a lot better right now anyway. So.
Hmm.
So
That's a fair point.
With that said, I guess Tunka sucks. Yeah.
That's one of those things though, it's like, if you don't get into Morning Musume and you go to AKB, you're almost guaranteed to do better, because AKB in general is better. I mean,
But there's so many girls in AKB that don't have it better though.
that's true.
Not even than Morning Musume or any of them, so.
But like, your potential to do better
Right.
is so much higher than your potential in Morning Musume.
Well, I
Okay.
guess it comes down to you want to tell people, oh, I'm an AKB, but we don't know who you are.
Right,
Or
right.
I'm like the top member of Morning Musume, but nobody knows who Morning Musume is. Or
That's a hard choice to make.
Sad.
Wow, that's pretty deep there.
yeah. So I guess this comes down to personal goals.
Yeah.
A lot of these girls just want to be like a very famous idol, or
Right.
they don't really care which group to get in. So it's naturally for them to audition for the group they like the most at the time,
Right.
which for a lot of them was Morning Musume.
And then in the end, just take whatever you get.
Or they're like, oh, AKB is up and coming, so we'll try for that too. Oh, got in. Oh, okay.
Like, everyone gets in.
But so many people get in nowadays.
Yeah.
Though. There's so many generations of acts. So it probably gets a lot harder for Tsunku as well to hold auditions. Because everybody probably wants to be in A better than in Morning Musume.
That's true. I mean, I
Well,
think
I wouldn't say it's harder. There's still, when Morning Musume holds auditions, they still get 30,000 or so applicants.
Yeah, but those are 30,000 applicants that AKB didn't want, probably.
I think that they're kind of making up those numbers every time.
Because
Because I mean, like, when you look at the Hello for Time or Satayama or whatever coverage of the audition, it's like back with 8th, 9th gen, it's like what, 10, 15,000 people, but for 12th
guess,
gen, it's
yeah.
like now like 6,000 people who made it
Yeah.
stage 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if you really get 30,000 applications in the mail that you have to process
True.
through for round 1.
Right. Well, I guess it goes both ways. These
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
of games.
Yeah. So I think this is a good note to end on. Any final comments regarding the entire audition process?
No.
Nope.
No.
So, advice for everyone: pick Morning Musume first, and then go to AKB when you get rejected. But if you have your own thoughts on this whole thing, or the first topic where we talked about the otas not paying each other back, feel free to drop it in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this episode. This was Bex Turbos86 and S Ferris. Thanks for listening.